Hello everybody. This is going to be the last video of this series, and what we're going to do is deploy the application in a server, and I will explain a little bit the core situation. So let's get started. The first things that we need to do, we just need to copy our env local to example env. That way, we can actually have the env variables that we need to put on the server. Of course, remember, remove the content of the example one. And now we just do git, all of them, git commit -m, and let's call this added db API connection. Yeah, I didn't commit it from last time. Now we need to push it, and it's on the server. Perfect, in GitHub. So now the only things that we need to do, let me close this, we actually need to go to our server. As you remember, we have the API server and we have the front end. So I will go to the front end. And I will do a simple git clone. I need to find out my server, my GitHub repo. So it's going to be git roman node dash app view. I believe I call it like that. Yes. So let me just copy this from here. Now that I'm in my home directory, I just git clone that one. I go to that folder. I copy the example env to .env, and I change the .env. Let me use nano for now. So we need to actually change the address of the production server now. So in my case, my production server is HTTPS. Remember, we have the secure connection there, and it's called it, let me check, use production, manage, it's actually this one for me. So it's going to be that one, and we're using the API, adding the API endpoint too. Perfect. Now the bit API username is going to be hello. I have it last one and I have there. Of course, this will be changed later. But for now, that's my API. So let me do Control X, Y, enter. And now I have my env files there. It's really important in order to continue. So after I have that, I just do a simple npm install. Okay, and npm run build. This will create a distribution folder. They're the one that we need to be rendered through the application, through the Nginx configuration. So we go to distribution and we go pwd, and we take note of this address somewhere in your notes, right? Now we just do sudo nano etc nginx conf, and let's call this node.conf. The password there, and let's create a new configuration that's going to set up this application. So we need to put a server tag, and inside here we want to listen in the port 80. Remember, always put the semicolon at the end. Then we need to do listen again. This is for the IP version 6 address. Semicolon, and then we do server name, and let's call it nodes. In my case, it's going to be Rodolfo Roman.syt, and we can actually use a comma, I believe. Let me verify that. Nginx. Server name. And we can actually have several names with a space in there. So what I want to use for my server name is going to nodes, and let's actually call another one nodes-fake or nodes2. Actually, let's keep it simple. And I'm doing this because I will use in my API just to accept the call for nodes, so you can actually see the course in how it's actually working. So for simplify it, we have like two DNS entries pointing to the same server, very much. Okay, then we do the location thing, and let me actually load location, my root, and from here, my root directory, it could be the one that you actually have, save it, and then we need just to put here try files underscore URI $URI / index.html. We close the location and we close the server. Yeah, I believe that should be it, pretty much. Let me save it. Control X. Yes, enter. Sudo. Before actually restart it, let me open my DigitalOcean. And I'm opening right now in my other browser. So let me set those right here. So let me open my domain and let me add nodes to my front end. Let's make this 30 seconds. And I will did you like it? Let's refresh. Okay, sign up with GitHub. Signing with GitHub. Let me try again. So it's going to be nodes pointing to my front-end server. 30 seconds. There you go. And the other one that we created is actually called nodes too. Okay. To the same server. It's the front-end server. Okay. Perfect. Now in my server, I use to sudo nginx -t to test it. Everything was successfully. I mean, they can use sudo nginx .sreload, and that should be enough. So if I go to nodes.rodolforoman.nyc, I should be able to see my nodes tab. If I can create a new one, as you can see here, we have a specific issue, and let me show you that. So at the beginning, I should be able to call, and let me go to my production. Oops, get node, get all. Wow, my nodes API is actually down. Oh, there you go. I should be able to get one node. So let me try to refresh this. It's not getting it because we have an issue with the cross-domain header, right? I'm blocked by policies because it doesn't allow it to nodes from an NYC to actually make calls. To fix that, let me get out from my server and let me jump into my API server, or the one that we have the backend. Actually, we need to do something now to remember. Let me close my development, set up my server, git status. Yeah, we modify this. So legit add dot git commit fixed update a node, and let's push it. So that means that we need to restart our server for that. So let me go to my applications, nodes API, and I can just do a git pull here. As you can see, I have a pull there. I can do npm install just to have anything that needs to be installed just in case. And then for pm2 ls, I can do pm2 restart id 0. So now it should be restarted 81 times. Let me do pm2 logs, application starter. I don't see any issue, so maybe make a call. I'm perfect. My production endpoint is working. Okay. So now that I just updated the code, I just need to open my env file. And we need to change this. So the course origin URL, we just allow it to the nodes.rodolforoman.syc to be the one to actually make it the call. Now let's be a little more specific, and this is failing because of this. HTTP // to the control X, yes, enter, and then let's do a pm2 restart 0 to restart the server with a new env variable, and let's try to make the call again. The node is there, right? Now remember that we created a nodes to open my application, but we have an issue that we are not able to get this one because my header is not the same address, as you can see. So if I go to node, I'm able to get it, and new from server, another from server, let's add it, and that just get added right there with our issue consuming our API. So that means that we're able actually to use it this way. One last thing that we need to do here, let's open our env file again, and let's change this one to be https, and let's save the file, and let's restart the server, because now it's time to install our certificate in the front end. So let's get out again from here. We know that the backend is ready, and we're going to go to the front end. I did a mistake here actually. So instead of sending to sites, I actually installed in my home directory. I will leave it like that for now. I will go to my notes app. Well, actually no, I don't need to go there. I just do sudo servout -nginx. I put my password, and I will detect that I have nodes and nodes 2 right there. So select appropriate numbers separated by commas and or spaces. So I just want to do for nodes and nodes 2. So 2 space 3, and we wait for a couple of minutes for that actually to get done. Okay, I just paused it for a little bit and just waited for finish, and it did the SSL for node and nodes 2. So if we go to the app and we refresh this, we see that it's secure now and it's actually making the call. We can create another one. Let's see it. We can edit it. Ooh, we have an issue here. Yeah, we have an issue with the post. Well, probably something that we need to fix later. But we should be able to delete. Yeah. We're able to delete there. So we need to figure out what happened with your post and it didn't work the way that it's supposed to. But other than that, this is just something that needs to be saved in our server in order to make it work the way that it's supposed to. But well, we see it later. For now, we actually have our application deployed and it's actually secure. One thing that I wanted to show again, if I go to the other URL, that one doesn't pull up anything because again, the course block it because we just specify which application should be able to make calls to our API. And it's a really good way to actually have those. So other than that, I think this is pretty much it. I hope that you like it. Any question, any doubt, don't hesitate to reach me. Happy coding, everybody.